The world of robotics has been shaken by the release of Unitree R1, a budget-friendly AI-powered humanoid robot launching at just $5,900. Yes, you can now buy a fully capable AI robot that's cheaper than a gaming PC. But what exactly can a robot this cheap really do? And where's the catch? Because there has to be one, right? Currently being dubbed as the robot born for sport, Unitree R1 has surprised the world's mind with its unexpected agility. In its promotional video, it can be seen shadowboxing, running, and even doing a cartwheel. I will be breaking down everything you need to know about this month's tech superstar, from specs on down to comparisons to Unitree's older humanoid robots like the G1. But before I get into R1's insane specs, you might be wondering, who's really behind this robot revolution, and why is everyone suddenly talking about them? Unitree Robotics is a Chinese legged robotics company founded in May 2016 by Wang Jingjing. It broke into the market with the Go-1 quadruped robot, mainly known as the dog robot, which was priced at about USD 2,700, and later even released advanced models like Go-2. Due to their success, this was followed by their full-sized humanoid robot H1, a predecessor to our current R1. Thanks to them, my dream of getting a robot made is getting closer. This guy even said that as long as the R1 can cook and clean, he doesn't mind paying $20,000. I mean, can you blame him? I hate doing the dishes every day. Now, Unitree designs nearly everything they use themselves, from motors, controllers, and even their motion systems. And it's not like you haven't seen them before. Unitree's robots have appeared at the Beijing 2022 Winter Olympics opening, heck, even the 2023 Super Bowl pregame show. Backed by Chinese venture funds and national industrial policy, Unitree leads the world in making high-performance, four-legged, and humanoid robotics broadly accessible, supplying a significant share of global commercial robot units. Now, back to the R1. While every single specific detail hasn't been released, it has been confirmed that this beast of a machine will weigh just 25 kilograms with a height of 121 centimeters. But that's just the start. R1's thrifty price tag makes Unitree's previous humanoid robot, called G1, look expensive. The G1 is a 35-kilogram unit that has been sitting at a height of 130 centimeters, slightly outdoing the new R1 on build size alone. Although US tariffs could make the R1's price much higher than the $5,900, people don't care, and this comment is proof. Even after 200% tariffs, the R1 is affordable. Heck, it's still nothing in comparison to the estimated after price of G1, a hefty $16,000, close to around triple that of the new R1. But do you want to know the best part? With tariffs, it can hit an estimated $27,000. While the R1 may look like a cheaper version of the G1, the real story is in the trade-offs, and one of them might just surprise you. The manufacturer-ready G1 is able to recognize and respond to voice commands, having built-in noise and echo cancellation. It recognizes visual commands and responds to changes. To top it off, the G1 has three-finger dexterity, with the option to attach tactile sensors, which will mimic the human sense of touch, which will be important soon when I go over the R1. Now here's where it gets really interesting. The R1 comes in two separate models, the base model and the EDU version, which is short for education, and built for help and research for robotics. But the difference between these two isn't just about price. Some of it feels like two entirely different robots, and you'll see why. In terms of mobility and articulation, the Unitree website mentions that the R1 has 26 degrees of freedom. That's more joints than some action figures, 6 per leg and 5 per arm. All this helps the R1 achieve highly expressive, human-like movement across a range of dynamic environments, outdoors and indoors. In terms of its lift capacity, which is code for how many grocery bags it can carry, the R1 boasts strong motors. These are called PMSM, which is a nerdy way of saying super strong and precise. Each arm can lift up to 2 kilograms of force, supporting a variety of handling tasks. Most people that are willing to empty their pockets and spend a crazy amount of money definitely need a strong battery life. Unfortunately, the R1 has even less battery life than the previously mentioned G1, which had 2 hours. Powered by a high-density lithium battery, the R1 only delivers up to 1 hour of operation. Realistically, though, most users will get less than an hour, especially when the robot is under heavy load or the battery starts to degrade. However, it does a good job of balancing runtime and energy efficiency, but this capacity sits lower than industrial-grade robots, which can have 2 to 3 hours of runtime. But it's a trade-off that sacrifices endurance for weight. No one wants a bulky robot. So as a solution, teams working longer demos typically employ spare batteries in rotation or add optional external packs. Other than these features, the R1 has an 8-core CPU paired with a basic GPU that powers its core systems. Unfortunately, though, when it comes to computing power, you won't be getting an NVIDIA Jetson Orin in this package. The R1 offers a binocular camera system, offering an expansive wide-angle view for depth perception and situational awareness. In terms of programming, the base model allows you to tweak it a bit, but the EDU version lets you take full charge. You can write your own programs and play around, which is kind of making me like that version more. The base R1, however, has an 8-month warranty, while the EDU version has a 12-month one. You'll also be getting consistent over-the-air updates for your robot buddy, probably more than my phone gets. But Unitree does not guarantee future performance upgrades. Now, if there's any audio heads watching this, the R1 is equipped with a 4-microphone array and dual 3W speakers, giving you clear audio input and output for speech interaction and acoustic sensing.
Bye-bye.
And in case you find yourself stuck in a cafe wondering how to connect your R1 to the Wi-Fi system, it has all the normal connectivity options you would need, including Wi-Fi 6 and Bluetooth 5.2. When it comes to potential usage scenarios, remember the weight I mentioned earlier? Well, weighing 25 kilograms makes the R1 very suitable for transport. This applies to all situations, but can mostly be seen as a plus for students and researchers, allowing them to be able to move in between lab spaces. With multiple joints, it can teach how biped locomotion, balance, and basic manipulation work. And while robot stores may be the future of retail, let's not forget the tech that powers these machines behind the scenes. Another decent win for the R1 is its ultra-wide binocular vision and mic array. They act like 2 infinity stones on a very low budget and create a pretty good platform for AI experiments. In fact, language models like ChatGPT can even run on board the EDU version. But do you want to know the crazy part? It can facilitate voice and image-triggered behaviors, a rare combo at this price point. Its large range of motion support dynamic demos like kickboxing, running, rolling over, etc. is great for more research and even for prototyping new control algorithms. Think of it as a cheaper play area for testing that doesn't break the bank. Things like open architecture and over-the-air updates allow a robot to be a decent environment to create real features. Features like grippers, sensors, etc., before scaling to larger, more capable platforms like G1 or H1. So what are the major differences other than physical specs between these versions? Not too many and not too little. The time difference in warranties can be a deciding factor, especially if you like your technology protected like normal people. But you need to remember that the warranty mainly covers defects from Unitree's end and not those caused by you. So I'd advise you to avoid snapping your R1 in half, especially because of how tiny its waist is. But like most manufacturers, Unitree has a clear path on what breaks and voids the warranty. Things like unauthorized hardware modifications. This one is simple. Don't act like Tony Stark and open the shell or even try to disassemble the R1 because it cancels your warranty immediately. Really avoid software tampering. Set aside any of those YouTube tutorials and don't try jailbreaking your robot. Seriously, to top it off, any damage you cause from using the software you create does the same, which translates to be better at coding and understand the R1's limitations. Which makes complete sense because the robot isn't a marine, and adding extra stress on its frame by coding dangerous movements will definitely cause damage. Okay, now it all sounds great. But what's the R1's catch, though? A certain trade-off is that the base R1 doesn't have dexterous hands, but the EDU version does. This matters if you want your robot to help you perform tasks like holding your grocery bags or playing cards with you. But it's not the end of the world, as the hands are sold separately. Another thing is that major feature upgrades, like a support for new hardware released after your purchase, appear outside the warranty scope, which means that upgrade schedules are not publicly guaranteed past basic maintenance. You see, there's a ton of info online, but without real-world unboxings and tests, I am still guessing what this robot's actually like. Because just how realistic do you think these promotional videos are? R1's abilities may even be overhyped because the videos I've seen showing off those crazy moves might be heavily choreographed. It's still very difficult for humanoid robots to react to obstacles in real time without controlled environments, but I'm definitely ready to be wowed. To add, it's important to remember that the robot can look larger in the videos, and it may not be what the final product will look like. But beyond the price tag and party tricks, there's a deeper discussion we need to have. Now, if all this talk about humanoid robots feels a little too futuristic, let me snap you back to reality because it's already here. No, seriously, Beijing just opened the world's first full-on robot store. I'm talking 4 stories of nothing but robots. Located in the city's high-tech E-Town district, this isn't some pop-up or flashy PR stunt. It's a fully operational retail space where you can walk in, interact with robots, ask them questions, play games, and even buy one like you're picking up a new phone. Officially called a 4S store, that means sales, service, spare parts, and surveys. The place showcases over 100 different robot models from 40-plus Chinese companies, including Unitree, of course. You'll find robotic pets, humanoid butlers, bartenders that mix drinks, musical performers, even an Einstein replica that can teach physics. I'm not joking, it actually has a fuzzy white mustache and everything. But the wildest part? These aren't just for show. The whole idea behind the store is to bridge the gap between lab tech and real-life use. Shoppers are encouraged to test the robots, give feedback, and see how they behave in everyday situations. In fact, during one demo, a robot struggled to place a coffee mug and needed help from a staff member, and instead of hiding that moment, the staff used it to explain limitations. It's transparency like that which makes this so valuable. You're not just being sold a dream, you're watching it be built in front of you. It's a clear signal that China isn't waiting for the AI future, they're retailing it. While the West debates the ethics and timeline, Beijing is literally turning shopping malls into robot labs. So the next time someone says, humanoid robots are still decades away, tell them to book a flight. Because over in China, you can now walk into a store, test drive a humanoid, and go home with one. But humanoid robots aren't the only stars in Unitree's growing tech arsenal. While shoppers in Beijing are busy testing their robotic baristas and tutors, behind the scenes, Unitree has been cooking up something a bit more. They released the A2 Stellar Explorer, a quad dog action star blasting through doors, literally. It sprints at 11.2 miles per hour, leaps over 30-centimeter obstacles, shatters glass, and even carries a 220-pound human on its back. Plus, it can climb 45-degree slopes, haul 25 kilograms while moving, and trek for 3 hours over 13 kilometers on a rugged, rain-splattered trail. With LiDAR-guided terrain sensing and IP56 splash resistance, the A2 isn't meant for your living room. It's built for rough terrain, search and rescue missions, and situations where failure isn't an option. It's a machine designed to handle chaos, not avoid it. What makes the A2 even cooler is how smart and tough it actually is. This thing doesn't just run fast, it makes real-time decisions, thanks to built-in smart sensors. That means it can dodge obstacles, climb stairs, and navigate tricky environments without needing a babysitter. Some demos even show it blasting through tight corridors and kicking open doors like it's on a mission. And we're not talking light taps, it sends doors flying. It's basically a robot tank dog. Unitree seems to be aiming this one at rescue teams, construction zones, maybe even military use. It's way too intense for living rooms, unless your idea of home decor is drywall damage. Compared to more expensive robots out there, the A2 punches way above its price, and does it while carrying 25 kilograms of gear and keeping its cool in the rain. And that brings up a bigger question, the one everyone's thinking but not saying out loud. What happens when robots fail in our world? Not in labs or test videos, but out in public, around people. like when a robot malfunctioned at a festival in China and caused concern among the crowd. Thankfully, the security intervened, but it begs the question, just how safe are these robots? It's unclear whether it stumbled or if it was an attack, but realistically, it was most likely just a malfunction. Even when these robots are mostly designed with domestic and manual labor in mind, there are still concerns over public safety regarding these, especially due to the lack of emphasis on developing safety protocols. People are being sold the idea of a perfect helper when it can be far from the truth. Robots can be useful in controlled environments, but placing them in less predictable environments like restaurants, where there's new interactions every day, is concerning. Unitree's own spokesman told BBC that the AI simply has not yet reached a breakthrough moment. Another major rising concern is labor and job replacement. With the rise of machines being able to do what humans can, people have also created machines that can do what humans cannot, like working 365 days. What this means for the workforce is still under debate, but realistically, we all know the answer. So is it really worth it? So while AI-powered robots and machine learning are truly shaping the coming future in new ways, it's not without its flaws and faults. There's no perfect plan and outcome yet, especially because of how new this technology really is. However, one thing is for sure, the availability of the R1 to the general public has changed the course of the robotics industry throughout the globe. The reason behind this is simple. It's allowing the mass public to not only see, but access these creations in their own homes by massively cutting the price and lowering the bar for entry. From just the currently available details alone, it's safe to say that the R1 is a defining moment for Chinese robotics in the whole world, and especially in its race with American tech conglomerates like Elon Musk. It's even more heightened by the fact that just the estimated price of the Optimus bot that Elon Musk put forward is around 4 times, $20,000, the R1's budget. This puts a significant burden on building cost-effective alternatives to the most expensive robots currently, and challenges the American robotics market. So would you buy a 6K robot for your home or lab, or is the R1 just hype for now? Drop your thoughts in the comments.